all you cool people, you better leave now because it's about to happen.
Friday night and I'm riding solo. When I touch down, keep it on the low low. I don't mess with your energy. No photos.
Ladies and gentlemen, chatting with Chad here in our new home. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, and I can hear you too, so that's good. We usually have some sort of technical issue when we get started, but not today.
Let's start. Let's go.
And we got a comment. Beaverhausen says, "Hey boys, hello."
Anastasia, what's going on?
Chad, you look nothing like the thumbnail. The ChatGPT, like, I don't know why it does that. Like, you give it pictures and you tell it to do it for you because I don't know how to use Photoshop. And it like makes like an AI version of the people you give it pictures of rather than, I guess, probably for legal reasons. But so anyway,
I don't believe you. You know how to use Photoshop.
I don't. I know how to use InShot, which is a free app on your phone, but you can pay $3.99 a month for it, which I've been doing for well over a year now. And you get access to all the features. That's how I make the faces pop up on the videos. That's how the magic happens. That's the only thing I really know how to do is put the make a sticker and then put the sticker over top of somebody else's face. That's all I can do. But where are you today? Are you in the garage?
In the garage. Yeah.
All right. What are we watching here in the background? Is that just cable television?
Tin Cup actually, I think.
I have not seen that movie.
Really? Oh, it's classic.
I have not.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick. We got a sauna over there, and then like the workout area, and then we got audio,
I've
video. Like I hang out here.
Yeah, you've done stuff from there before. Just for some reason, I don't know. It didn't look familiar to me for a second.
I used to have to come out to the workbench to show you how to fix shit.
Yeah, trying to help me build that desk. Which
don't have Luke put together IKEA furniture.
I imagine that desk is still standing, but it might not be. That company is still amazingly standing, but it exists in a made-up world of made-up things.
IKEA, you talking?
No, not IKEA. IKEA is Europe's biggest charity.
Oh yeah,
company.
That
business I worked for.
Captain Liberal lady that you worked for. Holy shit.
Absolute fucking psychopath. That woman.
Yeah. 100%.
I was thinking about it the other night because I watched Deadpool and Wolverine for the first time.
Did you?
A couple of weeks ago. I hadn't seen it because I hadn't seen really any of the Marvel movies after like Iron Man 2. So I had to go and watch through them all. So I watched through most of them. I skipped a few of them. Like there was a few where I was just like, I'm not doing this shit. But I watched most of them. I watched like 85% of them. And I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and I kept thinking to myself the whole time, I was like, that woman I used to work, like that crazy woman I used to work for, like when that movie came out, she went and saw it like, I want to say like 15 times in like a period of like 5 or 6 days. Like it was fucking bizarre.
It is.
And like, she wasn't like, and I was like, I remember I was like, are you like really into Wolverine comics and stuff? Like, I didn't realize that. And she's like, no, I just really like that movie. And still, like when I've watched it twice now, and both times I've watched it, I've been trying to figure out what it is that like she likes so much about that movie. I don't get it.
Right.
She just happened to really like Deadpool and Wolverine for some reason. She was a weirdo. But yeah, that woman spent like $200 probably on Wolverine and Deadpool tickets at least. If you keep going. I mean, she went to like anyway. We got other stuff to talk about.
No, it's fine. Like she struck me as the kind who would be more of like goes to Disney like 3 times a year type than like Marvel movies. So that's just interesting.
Yeah, it was that wasn't her thing, was like traveling because they travel all the time for that business. And then like the Starbucks cups, you know, they have like you're in Seattle and you buy the Seattle cup, and then you're in Edinburgh and you buy the Edinburgh cup and all that shit. Those sell pretty well though.
Yeah.
All the Starbucks have their own like whatever city you're in that has its own cup. I don't know if like Huntington, West Virginia Starbucks has its own cup. I kind of doubt it, but like cities like Seattle and major cities do. So
yeah, you worked for the real life like Rachel Maddow. She could have been a Rachel Maddow villain. Like she should have a hit on Rachel's program, 100%.
That was definitely like a job where every day I kept thinking like that scene in Ghostbusters, like I've worked in the private sector. They expect results. Because it was just all a big fucking the whole thing was just I actually have a thought along those lines though. I saw that they put a cap on the amount of tuition they're allowed to charge in like law school or whatever. Not a cap on how much they're allowed to charge, but how much the federal government will cover with loans and stuff like that. And it's 50 grand. So all of a sudden you're going to see a lot more of this too. All these tuitions have dropped like probably 20% this year, but they're all exactly $50,000 now. And it's like, okay, so what if the government only allowed like $10,000? How much would that cost? You know what I mean? Because
yeah, it would be incredible. It would blow people's minds.
If education were on like a real world model, well, first of all, there's not a bank in the world that would loan somebody $150,000 to get a humanities degree,
unless it was fully backed by the government and not extinguishable in bankruptcy, which is right.
Yeah. If that's the case, and I get like 8% on it, fuck yeah.
Dischargeable in bankruptcy. Yeah, that's the two things they did. It's fully backed by the government, and you can't discharge it in bankruptcy. So therefore, it's not a bad investment to give some kid a $200,000 loan for a basket weaving degree.
Or hell, even from what I'm seeing now, even a $200,000 loan for an engineering or a computer science degree might not get you much.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And to your point, like the government, we're not going to get too heavy into this, but they should, this is what happens when the government gets involved in anything. And politics aside, there's nobody now that can argue with the fact that all Obamacare did, and I get it about the pre-existing condition and the medical system had problems before, but all that's happened since we had Obamacare, which was supposed to give everybody, like, this is a panacea, is the cost of healthcare has quadrupled. You know what I mean? You could look at a chart from the passage of Obamacare, and healthcare costs have just gone straight up. Because as soon as you get the government bureaucracy involved, that's just what happens. It's just a trough. Everybody's tax money is a big pool of money for which to be embezzled. Okay, so yes, to your actual point, if they actually allowed the free market to set the rate of tuition, it'd be about 40% of what it is right now.
Yeah,
like
if that,
and
if
yeah, and the universities would actually have to offer far fewer degrees because they would only be able to offer the degrees that are economically viable for that university. A degree at which they believe that somebody would get a good job from that degree. It would actually make the degrees better too.
And to be honest with you, like if you're interested in, for example, I just knew a guy that majored in this when he was in college at Marshall, puppetry. If that's something you're interested in, there's absolutely no reason why that should be a college thing, though. Like you should go to a 4-year degree school. For puppetry? Like that was like his thing. Like like I don't know if it was called like that was like his specialization of whatever fucking weird theater degree he had. But it was all about, and he was good at puppets and stuff too. But it's like, why there should just be like some school where like some Jim Henson school of puppetry that you go to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You could work for Henson. You could be. What was the comedian that did the puppetry? Fuck, I forget the name.
I sold. Are you talking about the one with the Arab like the Taliban doll one?
Yeah.
I sold a friggin' little tiny one of that old man doll you had the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that guy's name?
What the hell is that? I can't.
Hold on, I can tell you in 2
right
seconds.
now too.
Ventriloquist.
Jeff
Dunham.
Dunham, thank you, Jeff Dunham.
Yeah,
and so you could either work for Henson,
Sean.
You could be Jeff Dunham, or you could work for Hollywood in some fashion. And that's like the only 3 jobs you could get with a puppetry.
So there's no reason why Marshall University should be offering a degree in it. or why
incredible.
like it should be any sort of career like path at all that you could take through. The other thing that was crazy, our theater program when I was in school wasn't accredited or whatever by whatever board of theater programs. So the house that was behind my apartment, like the apartment that we all lived in, was like all theater kids. So like it was just like I was talking to them, and one of them dropped that, and I was like, "Wait, so you guys are in an unaccredited theater college school? Like that's fucking insane."
It's like
they were all out of state too. They were all out of state too, though, because it was way cheaper to get that degree at Marshall, out of state than it was to get it at like Florida State or where. Like I think a lot of them are from Florida.
That's like an apprenticeship or an internship with like zero upside. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like actual apprenticeships too, by the way. You get paid while you're learning, which is fucking crazy. Like here's a crazy idea. Instead of paying tuition, you just work and they pay you.
Now you're talking crazy.
That's economically viable if the I gotta
excellent. So that's I'm sure they were interesting cast of characters though, living next to them. Like
they were so I will tell you real quick, one of the guys, he had Tourette's too, which is even like it almost sounds like I'm making it up. But he literally like he was in a I think it wasn't Hamlet, but it was something like Hamlet, and he finally got a role, like a speaking role. Like it was like he was like a junior or senior. But the guy like all the time, like I thought like when I first moved in, he like kind of like I was kind of afraid of him because I thought he was just a typical Huntington like crazy person. Because we got that like right on campus in Marshall, but he would go like all the time. That was like his thing. So like literally like to be or not to be. But he also had webbed toes. He'd always wear flip flops, and his big toe and the toe next to it were separate, but the other three were all webbed. And he had these tattoos that were funny. They were like when like you're supposed to cut something out, there's like dash marks. He had that tattooed on his like webbing on his toes.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
But his mom, he was like a crack baby, I think was his like why he was like that. But anyway, yeah, I hadn't thought about that guy in forever. But yeah. Anyway, so but yeah, it was a crew.
I gotta tell you, so I'm getting my old beer pong table back. A random aside, because we're thinking about like college housing now. I'm thinking about my fucking college flop house, if you will.
Oh,
and
disgusting.
We had a good old time. We lived out on Kingwood. If anyone's from Morgantown in South Park, lived on Kingwood in this like 4-bedroom, and we had it right. And anyways, we made this beer pong table. I made this beer pong table. Mountaineers all out of bottle caps and like lacquered it and everything. And anyways, my buddy went to WU Fairmont, and when I joined the service, I had a kegerator and a beer pong table. So you kind of guess how college went for me. And so I had to ship out with the military, my junior year. I had enlisted. So he inherited my kegerator, my beer pong table, and I had a foosball table too. And he went to Fairmont, and then his parents were in the area. So it ended up, I got my kegerator back, but the beer pong table got thrown in his dad's garage. And I thought, this is like 2005, mind you,
Hell
so
yeah.
I thought it was a goner. Fast forward to last month. He's been in Australia for 20 years. He invites me to his wedding. Married this chick in Colorado. It was her dream to go to Australia. And they just went over there and never came back like a decade ago. And I get a random invite in the mail for like his wedding reception back home in New York where we grew up. So I went, and I'm talking to his dad, and his dad's still got the fucking beer pong table. And so actually I'll be going to retrieve that this this spring. Awesome. That's pretty sweet. I had made a second one for a U of I, so there's only 2 of 2 tables that I ever made, and I'm actually pretty stoked to get this thing back. So I'll show you when I get it.
I never was creative or did anything productive. My beer pong table story from college was destructive and bad, but like there was this apartment building behind us not different place, not the place with the theater kids, but and it had like a little like dugout basement, but like it was behind it, and like there was just a hole in the ground essentially with a ladder that you would go down. It was behind the place, and they just had the landlord just had a big piece of plywood with like a couple bricks sitting on top of it. So we like it was perfect. We just took the fucking piece of plywood. So like I think it took a couple days for the landlord to realize, because I'm sure it rained and like there was water down there. It was so fucking like we shouldn't have done it. But I remember he came around thinking it was us too, and I was like, no, it wasn't us. He knew it was us. So he ended up like building like a actual like trap door for it, like how it should have been. But yeah, that was only a beer pong table, because then we had to get rid of it once he came looking for it. It was all like a drunken decision, you know what I mean? Like, but then we're like, oh fuck, we got to get rid of this thing. We just had a piece of plywood. We're like, but we're dumb college kids. We're like, dude, we're gonna go to jail over this shit. It's literally like a $20 piece of plywood,
Oh, we had a couple cops, busted underage parties for sure. Like, it was pretty frowned upon back then. I don't even think they mess with it anymore. But the play was always, this beer pong table was a beaut though. I definitely got to show you. Like, I'm excited that it lived through. So another quick, when I lived there, okay, so I was obviously from Buffalo area, and so West Virginia is about 4 hours away, and one of my other roommates is in New York, so we all went home for the holidays.
Buffalo to Morgantown is only like 4 hours.
Yeah, like maybe 4.5.
I mean, is it kind of like a straight line down almost?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm also about an hour south of Buffalo, let's say. So
okay.
Pittsburgh is 3.5 hours, and maybe another hour to Morgantown, so maybe a little less than 4.5.
Yeah, I just never really thought about it.
Yeah, so loved it down there. So we all go home for break, and we got robbed. Like, they knew where the fucking campus housing was. We got robbed, and I used to have, like, this was back, pre fucking smartphone, where I had this like collection of fucking DVDs, like some. And like live concerts and all that shit, and all the vintage Sega and Nintendo games and everything. We got robbed as fuck. And so I'm excited for anything that survived that era, because most of it got stolen. So we get back and we call the cops, okay? And they obviously did nothing. Like, they filed a police report. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like, some of my roommates I felt bad for, because they lost like decent stuff. Like, all I did was lost a bunch of movies and games and shit that nobody cares about, but you're 20, whatever. But they didn't care at all to figure out what happened, or we never heard from them again. But the only thing they did care about, they did do, is they took the Kingwood sign off my wall, because we had a huge storm and the fucking road sign came down, and we were like the Kings of Kingwood.
They took it with
stole the fucking road sign, and the cops like, we'll take that. Takes the shit. I'm like, I just got robbed, motherfucker. Like, you're taking like Kingwood sign's the only thing I got left. He's taking it off the wall.
That's fucked up. That's the guy who was jealous that you were in college hanging out. He never,
Seriously, like, without law enforcement, what would we do? So
I'm sure I've told you before. I blew my knee out stealing a fucking traffic cone in college. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. But I just grabbed a traffic cone and ran and fucking blew my knee out. That's literally basically the whole story. Yeah, it sucks, but. I don't know, something about getting drunk when you're like 18 to 21 with like a bunch of dudes. You just want to steal like random shit from around.
I'm grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful that
shout out Doty. Dan.
What's up, man? Dan
said congrats on the premiere episode, guys. Looking forward to the series. If you guys want to check out the Chatting with Chad archives, they're on the Farm League System Network YouTube. But we've moved over, we're in the big time now.
Covered a lot of ground. A lot of ground covered.
I texted BA earlier, and I was like, hey, we just got this guy. I think he's going to be pretty good. His name's Chad. We're going to get him for GB. He's like, oh, that's cool. I hope to meet him someday.
I really hope to meet him sometime. That'd be great. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm grateful to be alive from college, and also that everything wasn't filmed. And to your other point, I don't know if it was the same way at Marshall, but the dorm room play, if you didn't have a beer pong table when you're in like the quad, was you took the closet door off the fucking quad, right? And you just put it over, like, the closet door became the beer pong table in the dorms.
I never not only did I never live in a dorm,
you just pull the hinge pins, right? And just take the fucker off.
I was probably only in a dorm like 3 or 4 times the entire time I was in college.
Yeah, you live close by, right? Yeah.
We had I'll show you a picture of the place sometime because it's a weird building. It's still there. It's right across the street from the 6th Avenue parking garage in Marshall. So like literally, I was in business school. My walk was a block to get to class every day. So it was oceanfront property basically, but there's a whole bunch of shanties all around Marshall's campus, and they all rent for like, like high, like back in that day. I remember, I think my rent was like our rent for a 4-bedroom apartment there on oceanfront property, and this was like expensive for what the place was because it was a slum. Was like $600, and like it should have been like $350 probably for the place. Like it was that bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that reminds me.
But
of Grant,
now that place is probably like $900,000. I have to look and see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, one last story on all this, as we're on it, is I don't know how many times you've been to Morgantown, but
Never.
Really? Okay.
0.
So if you're in, anyone who knows Morgantown, so the sunny side, there had a Grant Avenue was the name of the, so everything that you see with them burning couches and the riots and all this shit, people going nuts, it was all on Grant Avenue, and it was this row of student only housing, but they're real houses, like
Yeah, they did that more too when you were in school than they.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was gonna say is like, so they're all like these 4-bedroom houses with porches, right? And there would be a keg on every porch, and you literally go porch to porch with your cup, pay the dude, and it was just one big kegger on this block, and all the houses were like condemned, like you'd fall through the fucking like.
So what years were you in school?
04 to 07.
So I was at Marshall 11 to 15.
I would have been class of 08, and I bailed out to join the Air Force when I was low on money.
Call, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a great call. I ended up finishing my degree later on there, but yeah. So, anyway,
to give you an example, I fucked around a lot. I started as a sophomore. I came in with like 60 hours, and it took me 4.5 years to graduate. I was in December of 2015 graduate.
Hey, whatever.
Well, took me a while, but I got there.
But you got the piece of paper, right?
I had to come back for one more semester to take 2 elective They were like accounting electives, but they were for my degree, but they had limited seats in the classes because there were only I was never in any accounting class after like the 200 level ones with more than 12 people.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, it was like literally like whatever. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So
chatting with Chad, not lingering with Luke.
No, it's an educational show. So Grant Avenue on fucking Morgantown, it's all condemned. These houses were you couldn't use them for anything other than throwing bashes, and like nobody in their right mind would want to have that as a residential area. There's just all this, basically a second coming of frat row, and that was the campus party. And other than the bar scene, obviously, that's the house party scene.
Right.
Anyways, they've cleaned up
house party
all
scene
that
way
shit.
better than. Oh, really?
Oh man, so many great times.
So did WVU get kind of sterilized?
They did. They keep moving. Basically, the campus keeps cleaning it up. They keep like slowly the campus creep, and like let's build another fucking dorm, and like the campus is slowly just buying it back.
From what I hear and what I see, Morgantown is probably the nicest city in West Virginia.
Oh, it is.
By this point, it's probably also. It's gonna soon probably eclipse Huntington and Charleston, like just economically and everything. I'm surprised it's not bigger than it is. To be honest with you, it still hasn't. It's still population wise, it's third now. It used to be like when I was a kid, like 20 years ago, it was like it's grown a lot in the last 20 years.
Right, that was always the saying. Is on game day, it's the biggest city, and
it is. Yeah, it still is because
like
Huntington
Milan
and Charleston
Puskar
keep losing population.
Yep.
Huntington at this point, if we're being honest, Huntington's probably more like 42, and Charleston's probably more like 45.
But they're not really counting like the surrounding, if you will, right?
No,
so a lot of the
it's weird too because Huntington and Charleston are considered the same metro. It's like this giant metro. So
right. If you consider that like Cheat Lake is like the next town over. There's a really nice lake there, right? And all the lawyers, doctors,
Oh, you're talking about
professionals,
Morgantown.
professionals. Yeah, Morgantown, like the surrounding area. So the next, like Cheat Lake, if you were to include that, and then all the way
Well,
out to like,
I can tell you
yeah,
how many people live in the Morgantown metro. Well, actually,
right.
that's interesting. So Monongalia County's got 105,000 people at the 2020 census. I bet
Really?
you that puts Monongalia. Let me look at their rankings. West Virginia County population. Real quick, we'll figure this out. Kanawha's number 1. Yeah. So more people live in Monongalia County than Cabell County. Cabell County is where Huntington is. Kanawha County is where Charleston is for everybody's. Kanawha County is at 173. Berkeley, 136. Berkeley is Martinsburg. Monongalia County, Morgantown's 108. Cabell County, which is Huntington's 91.
Yeah.
So in Wood County, which is Parkersburg, is 82. Then Raleigh County, which is Beckley, is 72. Keep going down. But so wow.
So like
a little Australian knowledge. That's the size of where I'm from. 100,000.
There you go. All right.
That would be.
I love it.
That would be double the size of the biggest city in West Virginia.
If you were to go, if I was to go back, like I would live on Cheat Lake for sure. Like that's a good.
I've never been there, but it sounds nice. I'm partial to that. The New River, and the Gauley, like that southern West Virginia. I like that part. But.
So.
You sent me a list of topics earlier, by the way, and I popped them into ChatGPT just because I'm a ChatGPT fag now.
Nice.
Just so
I've never used ChatGPT once. I'm proud of this.
I love it for we used to spend like $2,000 a month on our AI tool at work, and then we switched to one ChatGPT account for $25 a month. My staff uses that one. I use my own account that I pay $25 a month for, and it's worth it.
I'm sure it helps a lot.
I got it set up. They love that in my interview, by the way. I was telling them about the ChatGPT shit. Like businesses love that fucking shit. You tell the HR guy.
Yeah.
You had a couple topics I like though. I told him that makes real quick. I told him I was like, oh yeah, I set a reminder on ChatGPT for our interview because he said something like it was part of our. I said it casually, and he was like, you can do that. And I'm like, yeah, it's a large language model, dude. It's a personal assistant. Like, so like this guy's like so. I might be an AI wizard.
Probably why he's trying to hire you to be like the econ guy, right?
Well, this is just. I mean, he's an HR guy, he's cool. Like he was a cool guy too. But you had stuff I liked on here that I wanted to talk about. There were a couple things I didn't care about, like Luke job interview recap. Don't give a fuck.
But you just kind of hit. Oh,
real quick, car buying thoughts. What was that, real quick? Give me that one.
Just the whole. We had in the farm league chat. About what kind of cars you would buy, and like I think was it Hoodie was buying a car or something like
Hoodie was upgrading I think his Honda Civic to or was it a Honda or a Toyota? It was one or the other. I can't remember which, but he was upgrading either a Civic or a Camry to a nicer Civic or Camry, which is probably the smartest way to do cars in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. And that's why I put it on there. I have some strong thoughts on that, obviously. So for what it's worth, like,
and he was also, by the way, like,
go ahead.
Hoodie, by the way, just because he stepped away for a couple, probably a day or two. He'll probably be back pretty soon, but spending too much time on the Twitter, he's going to take a little bit of time to himself.
That's smart.
But from what I understand, he's a big car maintenance guy. So like, he's not missing his oil changes. He's, so he buys used cars, like used good cars, and like just keeps going. So he's not fine. Like he's buying like a 2017 or something, or 2019 maybe. But and it's expensive because fucking used cars are expensive because Obama like had that program where we got rid of all the used cars. And it's a Honda or a Toyota, which I can't remember which it is. I think it's a Honda, but that's expensive.
I'm so like old school on this, and an engineering brain, if you will. Like, and then not everybody is like this, but like I would never own a car newer than 2010, ever. I just bought the most recent cars I bought a 04 and a 05.
Who do you have for
Darth
tonight?
Lundgren.
That's Jake. Jake wants to know who you have for tonight.
Probably we talk about the Dodgers here. I don't know. I think I like if Ohtani's on the bump. I think unless he's hurt, I think I like the Dodgers.
No, Ohtani. Ohtani should be after walking 17 times last night and hitting 2 home runs.
I stayed up for that whole game. So anyway,
it's retarded. Ohtani's a blue chip stock at this point, by the way. If you can buy an Ohtani autograph, even though it's probably at its all-time high, just go ahead and do it.
I'm gonna sell some after this, but yeah.
I'll blame. Yeah.
But yeah.
Chat successful, I'm not, so.
I'm a market guy. I sell into strength. But anyways, so just on cars, man, the older the better. And like I've had a ton of different ones. And if anybody's out there is curious, like if you look at like Scotty Kilmer actually is one. He's pretty eccentric as fuck, but that guy can fix cars. Like he's got a crazy YouTube channel, and he talks about this kind of stuff. But basically, you want a Honda or an Acura, which is obviously the nice Honda, or you want a Lexus Toyota. Lexus Toyota is the gold standard. And the sweet spot for me, I think, is like 98 to 2010. That's like where you had like the high-end analog technology kind of meets, but you didn't get into all this sub-computer system bullshit and like smart car nonsense and all the extra sensors.
Right.
And they'll just like Toyota, Lexus especially, they'll run for 500,000 miles if you take care of them. You know, I mean, parts are readily available. I've owned damn near every model. Like I had a BMW, I had a 325xi. I loved it, like a little rally car, stick shift. I had that for years, loved it. But every year I put $1,000 or $2,000 of maintenance in it. You know what I mean? If you get an old, I had an old Jeep. I had a V8 Grand Cherokee, the 5.3, like fucking beast. But that thing would get death wobble all the time. Like Jeep, you can fix them because parts are, you know, readily available as well. But like, anyway, so that's the way to go. And I'm actually like trying to hoard older cars, like, because I think that the market's going to swing back that way. Like these smart cars are fucked. Like when your computer goes out, if your computer bricks, there's nothing you can do about it.
Earlier, you're talking about your Cherokee, which is one of the most reliable cars of all time.
Yeah,
it's great. Well, like even if it's you can work on it, it's a great car. Excuse me. 20 years later, Jeep produced another car that they call the Jeep Cherokee, like the 2018 to like 2024 Jeep Cherokee. You know what I'm talking about? That one.
Yep.
It's a disposable car. Literally, when the engine will go bad on it. My dad had, my parents had one. The engine goes bad on it. It's not worth replacing because of the cost and everything about it too. Like if you want to try to work on it, the mechanics fucking hate them because it's designed so that you can't like work on it unless you're a Jeep guy. It's going to be a pain in the ass for you unless you work for a Jeep dealership and they're charging you $8 million an hour to do it.
All of them are going that way. That's why the older the better. And like
I love
so
diesel.
If you have an old, diesel for sure. Like a
if you can get a diesel Jetta from before 2007, I think it is.
Yep. Those things got almost 60 miles to the gallon on fucking diesel.
I wish I knew you when my Jetta died. Like the engine was still like, and I was like begging people. I was broke at the time, but I'm like begging guys. Like I was like, dude, trust me, buy this fucking car from me. You're gonna like nobody fucking like. I ended up selling it for nothing, but I would have been like, Chad, just fucking buy this goddamn car. Seriously, it's a 2005 Jetta with 150,000 miles on it. The engine's hardly broke in. Everything else is dead. Everything else is breaking on this fucking thing. But
if you could find,
I guarantee you, like.
Yeah,
like the engine was. I don't know.
You could find one without a turbo. That's even better though, because if you get I had a Jetta.
Yeah, mine had a turbo.
I had a
2006 TDI.
Dude, your vacuum pump's gonna fucking go out. Your sensor, like they have issues with the turbo system, but the engine's bulletproof, for sure.
What killed
naturally
it
aspirated is the way to go on any car.
What killed it? Yes, what killed it for me was the actual thing where you just put the car in shift, fucking like you couldn't turn the key. Like that died when I was The ignition, yes, the ignition died while I was getting the oil changed, and then they also told me, oh, by the way, like the last guy I took the oil pan to, like fucked it up, and like you got to replace the oil pan, and that was going to be like hundreds of dollars. To get a brand new oil pan, and I'm like,
I still have a 05
it was the point. It was before. If this had happened after COVID, I bet I kept that car because the prices jumped. But this happened like probably 6 months before COVID. So it just made more sense to buy my Toyota, which I just paid off. But,
yep. Like
anyway,
I would love to start. No, you're right. I would like to start hoarding like old, diesel trucks, like late '90s, like the Ford's turbo diesels. I'd love to hoard a couple Toyota Land Cruisers. The old Land Cruisers would go for a fucking killing, like shit like that.
We got to get in touch with Dan, have him find us some fucking Land Rovers. We'll smuggle them over so we don't have to pay the fucking tax on them or something. But...
One of my best buddies, yes, fuck yeah. And one of my best buddies from Korea now lives a couple hours from me and runs a used car dealership. So I get whatever he wants, like at auction. I could get it for auction price. It's pretty sweet. So I got him looking at some of that. But like, so those cars are just going to continue to get more and more valuable. Now
you can't turn back to cars off with the. I want a car. Right. What kind of? How far back do you have to go to get a car that, like, if an EMP happens, like the car still works? Like, how far back is that possible?
That's why I say about maybe up to 2012 or like, but really like
that recent. Like, I felt like to be honest with you, I assumed you had to go back like the 70s.
It depends. Like, so I got
something with like carburetor. Is it carburetors? They're called. Not carburetors. Yeah. Something with
carburetor.
Right?
Like you actually had to adjust your fuel air ratio, and so
I feel like that's mechanical. That's not electric.
No, you're right. Like I guess most of even the early 2000s, if they have a it's your GCU basically. Your governor for your engine. So that's why they say carburetors, right? Like you don't have a computer that measures your freaking flow. So I guess that would be safer.
So I guess you're suggesting that we go back to simpler computers.
Those are basically
not
just
like the cars you're saying to buy the cars that you're saying we should buy would like they're like simpler computers. They still have computers in them though, right?
Yeah, but very minimal. Like, but even older is even better. I mean, 90s is better. Like, so
I have Jake, said Nissan. I went to a car show when I was like 15. No, I don't like Nissans. I mean, I went to a car show when I was like 15, and they had an old Datsun from like the early 90s, and it's like when you got in the car, like it would be like or unbuckle your seatbelt and stuff. It would talk, but it was a CD. Like it was a physical fucking CD. In the thing, like in the car that did that, you know what I mean?
Right, like a hard drive.
It was a physical. Yeah, it was like a physical media, you know.
Fuck. Yeah.
But it was early. It was cool as hell. Like I love that car. I love those old Datsun Z cars. Those things are sick. But
yeah, like so what Doherty needs to get us is a freaking Hilux, like the those Hiluxes that are indestructible, those pickups.
Well,
I fucking love one of those.
I don't know if you saw like Toyota is about to invest $10 billion in a bunch of factories. They just announced, I think today, and they got to build that Toyota truck that they have everywhere else except for here because we have those stupid fucking laws. If we can get that $10,000 Toyota pickup truck, you know the one I'm talking about, right?
The Hilux. That's what I'm telling you about. Yeah.
Basically, it's the 2025 Hilux. Basically.
Yeah.
They've got a modern run that's like oh my god. I don't know. Did you ever watch? Were you a fucking not the Grand Tour, Top Gear guy? Have you ever watched the Top? You gotta watch the British Top Gear episode with the Hilux. They get a Hilux and just like literally they literally chain it down and let the ocean come and take the car over, and then they get it back out and it runs.
Yeah.
It's the AK-47
I've seen them like
cars.
You've seen it like they literally dump a pallet of bricks on the bed in the back, and the suspension holds just fine. Like it's fucking like.
I would love to have that kind of. I would love to have one of those little. I like those Japanese key trucks, dude. The little tiny ones.
Yeah.
I like those a lot.
So when I was in the Middle East, that's all they have is those bongos. They have those little stick shift bongos. Like you could like literally, they show people like you could get behind it and lift it up yourself, like from the bumper. That's how fucking light they are. And they got like 1,000,000 miles on them. They're just like a little work truck and they run, man.
There's no reason why I shouldn't be allowed to buy that just to drive around. Like obviously I don't want that. I'm not going to drive interstate with that thing. But that's a good local car, you know?
So here's the little, so why I got like, so now I'm like, I'm an engineer and I'm good at fixing shit and I do all that. So I'm into this, but like I did the thing, like I get it. People do the, hey, young guy wants to show out. Like the first thing everybody did when they got in the military is they went and bought a brand new fucking pickup truck they couldn't afford. You know what I mean? And like strap yourself with this huge car payment and stuff. I've done that. So when I got back
in the Marines, they get a Charger. Same thing though.
When I got back from deployment, my first deployment, I bought a Cadillac CTS-V. It's not a V, sorry. It's the VVT. So it's the best CTS they made that wasn't a V. It's got the 3.6, and I still have it. I've had that car for 20 fucking years now. And anyways, I did replace my engine control module on that one. What's up?
I was listening to you. I was asking my girlfriend to give me a beer.
Yeah.
No, Carm.
But I know it's John.
Carm.
But
yeah. Hey, Carm.
But
she said that like that was fucking stupid to me. I just looked at her and went, "Hey, Carm," and she's looking at me. I'm like, "Yeah, that was dumb." John's girlfriend's name, or John's. So it's like you're the car. Like now I'm in the John role, so you're the Carm of.
Right.
Her name is Roxy. Roxy's the Carm of chatting with Chad, basically.
But yeah,
Chad
so I did that though,
and
I bought this fucking car back then when I couldn't afford it and had a big car note, and I only did that once. You know what I mean? And I still own the car. I've taken immaculate care of it.
Oh, yeah.
I've replaced the ECU on it, but I still love that car. Actually, and I'll tell you this, like that is still the best car I've ever driven in terms of handling. Like this steering was so fucking smooth. Like Cadillac GM had that down. But most of the rest of GM is shit, and those break all the time too. And like
the only car I ever loved was my Chevy pickup. My grandfather left me a '98 Chevy. It was before the Silverado. It was the year before they started doing Silverados. It was called like a C100. Not it's not a custom 100. Never mind. But it was whatever. It would have been a Silverado if it were 1 year later. I can't remember what the fuck that model was.
Okay.
But somebody hit and ran it. I'll send you a picture of it later on or tomorrow or something. I've got pictures of when I had it. But it was great. It had 76,000 miles on it, dude. I inherited it in 2009.
Yeah.
And I had it till like 2012. Somebody hit and ran it, and I had to get they bent the frame, so I got a salvage. My insurance salvaged it, so I got a salvage title, and then I had this guy bend the frame back out, and then I traded it to my brother for his. Me and my brother basically just trading my dad's cars, essentially. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I traded him for the car he was driving at the time, and then that thing fell apart, and then my dad gave me his Jetta, but my brother drove that truck for another couple years, but it was all janky, you know what I mean? Where they straightened the frame, it was still all fucking janky. It was never the same. It was a primo fucking. It was a great little work truck. It was a full size truck, but it was a great work truck too. It had plastic floors. You know, you could have just hosed it out. V6 engine, just rear wheel drive. You couldn't drive it if it snowed. Basically, great truck. Loved it. I'll send you pictures. Yeah. It was a great truck. Loved it. But I'm a Chevy truck guy just because my grandfather had the Chevy trucks and he enjoyed them. So, but to be honest with you, if I could choose, I'd get a Toyota truck. But the new Tacoma, my dad's a big Consumer Reports guy. He kept going. He's looking to get a truck. He keeps going. That Tacoma, it was the worst in the Consumer Report.
Yeah, even Toyota's going down fucking hill now. That's what I mean. It's got to be older.
That's insane.
It sucks.
That's
now
crazy.
They all suck. I would never buy a new car. Now I travel for work every week, and I get I'm executive at National, so I get whatever car I want. So I basically test drive every car I want for like a day or two at a time, and it's fun. But all these cars piss me off. They're all computer cars. Like they're
Yeah.
trying to, like, you almost get in an accident, because it's trying to lane assist you fucking over when you're trying to, and if you set the cruise, like I'm a cruise control guy, and like you look down and you're going only 60 because you're too close to the person in front of you, and it just fucking taking you down to a crawl.
Yeah.
Like I hate them.
I haven't. I don't
shit.
like the cruise control at all in my Toyota. It's a 2019. I don't like it. The only car I've ever had that I like the cruise control in was that truck, and it was one of those ones where like it manually like it moved itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, cruise control, and like the fucking pedal would move.
Dude,
it was fucking. It was cool.
I
like that.
That is actually cool. But every new car, you're not in charge of the car. Like the car fucking runs you now, and I don't like that at all. Like,
have you seen too? Like
no part of it, dude.
I don't remember which
you're
company's
just supposed
doing
to be
it.
a machine. I just need you to be a machine. Like I fucking speak machine. I'll handle it. Like I don't need your fucking attitude.
Have you
beeping at me?
Have you seen? I don't know which company it is, but like literally, they're making the features on your car subscriptions. So
Yes.
like if you.
Yes.
Which obviously is the natural progression of what they're going to do. Our version of capitalism is like weird, where it's just all about taking all the features away and making everything awful. And everybody just has to use it because they don't have an option. Because we don't have a true open market. But
I bought a car 2.5 years ago. It was the most recent car I bought. So I have had that Cadillac for 20 years. Still have it. Girlfriend had a Sonata. And like the engine blew on that. It's a shit box, but they actually stepped up and at least gave a new engine. So I've kept good care of that car, where it's just like a beater car for work. And then I was in the market. I'm looking for an old Land Cruiser right now, actually. But I was in the market for a fucking car. I bought a 04 Acura MDX with 126,000 miles on it. Like 2 years ago. So like this, I bought a 21-year-old used car at auction. Runs like a fucking clock. Like I bought like that. That's my like.
I gotta learn how to do basic car maintenance. That's something that every high school student should know how to do. Like change a tire, change your oil.
Especially now with the.
I don't know how to. I can't do any of that.
Well, there's a couple things, and we'll wrap this up. This is not a fucking auto podcast, but what people don't understand too is with the insurance continuing to be like it is and basically double every year, that if you own your car outright, you can keep your insurance down to minimum state levels that are required and save a fortune. If you have a lien on a car,
I gotta do that, by the way. I gotta do that. I keep forgetting to do that.
If you have a lien on a car, you have to have full insurance to cover the lender, and it's going to cost you 30% more every year as they keep cranking it up. So that's one, and then just the older cars run better. The maintenance cost is lower. Like the parts are abundant.
I agree.
It's
last thought on
it's
cars
crazy.
before
People
we
get
move on.
scammed.
I would love to get like a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle. like that's what I want to learn how to like work on cars on. Like I like that's a car that would EMP survive it. Something naturally aspirated. I would fucking love that. I just like German cars. Going back to your list though, you had oh go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You're like, I want to talk Venezuela. I feel
Yes.
like we're in a situation here which is kind of weird. I don't know Doty says a VW Polo from the 90s. I don't know what a Polo is. Is that the Cabriolet?
I think it's a sedan type, but I'm not confident.
Hang on.
Might have to get an
I'm
assist
surprised
on that one.
he's not just talking about Holdens.
Like I said, I've had a couple different German cars.
Yeah. It's like a little tiny they're hatchback basically.
Yeah, okay.
And
I think that became the Golf.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that the one? Yes, that's what I want. Is the Golf.
The Golf
R
hatchbacks.
Golf R.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot hatch. I
sweet.
love a hot hatch. Those are what I like.
Yeah. Those have the best transmissions too. Volkswagen had the best transmissions.
That's another thing
sure.
that's kind of sad. I have no idea how to drive the standard transmission.
So Dodge, for example, Dodge has the Hemi engines, which are great, but their transmissions suck. Dodge can't make a transmission to save their lives.
You said put a turbo in that fucker.
And Chevy, like the Alistair transmissions were great, but their engines would fucking suck, and they're everything out. So you can't get one that really has it all unless you get older Toyotas. Older the better. Especially the Lexuses, what they did, they wouldn't. It would be behind. It would be years behind. Rather than try to innovate new technology and be ahead of the curve, they would purposely use technology that was vetted and older, but that was reliable and worked. You know what I mean? So anyway, Venezuela. Let's talk.
I have to pee really bad. I can hear you. I'm gonna mute while I pee though. But go ahead and introduce Venezuela to us. It's kind of weird. I'm not up on Venezuela at all. Like I'm usually into all this kind of stuff. I have no idea what's going on. I've not been doing my geopolitics stuff. No idea. So go ahead. You're gonna introduce me.
Okay. So Venezuela, in my opinion, is an extension of the Monroe Doctrine. And if you're chatting with Chad P1, we've talked a lot about Guyana over the years. There's certain oil patches or energy patches around the world that become basically systemically important, where the world agrees there's a major oil discovery and we agree that it's okay to produce oil there. So you have like the oil sands in Canada, you have like Guar in the Middle East, you have the Gulf in the Gulf of Mexico, which used to be like they did a bunch of offshore. You have the shale patch in the Permian. So the Permian, for example, has been the most recent one where the last 20, 30 years, they've increased production for global oil production tremendously from fracking and shale production in the Permian Basin. You also have the Williston Basin in North Dakota, the JD Basin in Colorado, et cetera, et cetera. So the point, you can go on, Marcellus Utica, all this stuff. So these are the newer, if you will, things that we use to bring on more oil production. Okay. And the Guyana, ExxonMobil and Hess have been big down there in the last 5 to 10 years. Guyana, they found like billions of barrels of oil out there. And it's like the new discovery where as the Permian fades, you have declining production in all the big energy patches around the world. When they started in Saudi, you used to be able to stick a straw in the ground to get oil, right? But these things depreciate and it becomes harder and harder to get oil over the years. So all this to say, Guyana is the world's largest major oil discovery. And Exxon and Hess are down there, and they've been buying up blocks. There's a couple other companies, CGX and Frontera, that were down there buying adjacent blocks. And so Exxon owns this block, and it will be the next Permian, if you will, where this is the next 20 years of major oil production.
You did say
is going to come from this block. Sorry, go ahead.
You did say if you're P1 chatting with Chad guy, we did talk about it on Chatting with Chad.
Yes.
Remember, it was like maybe a year ago where Venezuela had a referendum whether they should annex that place in Guyana, whatever that place is. They used to
have it, right? So this is where.
Well, they had it. They had it like, and it's over 100 years ago, I think. Right?
Yes.
They had it like when it was
Yes, so Venezuela used to basically have this Guyana as part of their territory, and they don't any longer. And now it's the new major oil discovery in the world. And so that's a huge part of it, one. Okay. And there was even such a huge deal when Hess owned the adjacent block to Exxon, and they went to sell to Chevron. And there was a huge legal battle in the courts where Exxon had right of first refusal and they torpedoed the deal. So all these major energy players need to find the next big thing all the time, because as your production declines, you need to find the next honeypot to increase production. Right. Okay, so that's Guyana. So Venezuela has a claim, or they say they have a claim to a part of Guyana. So that's the biggest part. Also, Venezuela is a top 5 oil producer in the world. And
They're also
they also have that.
terrorists
They
country.
also have that. What is it? Coltan, termantium, or whatever. This blue. They have one of the hugest stockpiles of this blue mineral. I think it's coltan, and it's.
That's right. You
I
said that.
sent
I
you the
forget.
article. Yeah,
It's insane.
and that's from 10 years ago, mind you.
Venezuela has massive oil deposits that they're currently not able to exploit because they're such a fucking mess that they can't afford to. Because it's shitty oil. Venezuela has shitty oil. I have no idea if the oil in
I don't
Guyana
think that's
is shitty.
true.
You don't think
So-
it's shitty? I thought it was
No.
they had to really like the lowest quality oil, right?
No. I don't. No.
I'm gonna Google it
they
because
have-
I think I'm right. Heavy
so-
sour crude. Heavy sour crude.
That's actually better. So the same thing with the they'll say
Alright.
it isn't. They'll say it. So let me go where I'm going with this. The oil sands in Canada that creates a heavy crude as well. So whereas a fracked oil is light, okay, and that's easier to refine, they say, but you need the heavy oil to mix with the lighter oil to make it the right consistency. So heavy oil is actually more important and it's harder to get. You can frack oil and it's light. And we've talked about this with BA and some of the Canada boys on this podcast before.
Yeah.
So hold on,
we ranked basins once.
Right, we had a base. We've gone through all this. So my point is, they also have this coltan, which is a significant rare earth, and this was 10 years ago. They were talking about this, where it's not readily found, and they use this in semiconductor chips and smartphone batteries and shit. This coltan. So Venezuela is very, very resource heavy. There's major resources at play here. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is the United States Monroe Doctrine, right? We want to control this side of the world. We always have. We've undermined any legitimate government because we don't want another power player on this side of the hemisphere. We've basically neutered Canada and Mexico. The only thing that even comes close to being a strong enough country to stand on its own and fuck with us is maybe Brazil, but we've basically undermined every South American country ever. So Venezuela has critical fucking resources. They want to claim on the world's most new significant oil patch. You see where this is going. And now Maduro has been in charge for 10 years. And Venezuela's not fucked up. Their oil doesn't suck. They want to get more money for their oil. They think they should be more of a global player. He's stabilized Venezuela in the last 10 years. And maybe they decide we want to sell our oil to Russia, or we get a better trade deal.
I can't. Venezuela is not. Venezuela is a shithole. It's completely fucked up. We're flooded with Venezuelan fucking miscreants right now in the United States because that country's.
That's what they tell you, but why would we be strong arming a country if there's such a shithole?
So I'm confused though.
I'm explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to you. Maduro's been in power for more than 10 years. In the first Trump regime, we tried to install Juan Guaido and overthrow him, right? And he's actually trying to increase their production of resources, and he's trying to become a player globally. We want him ousted. We want to steal their shit, and we want to control the flows. We don't want him deciding, hey, I want to do trade with BRICS. We don't want him deciding, hey, I want to sell more oil to enrich my own nation. We don't want him saying you have a claim to Guyana because fucking Exxon owns Guyana. Right? We don't. So
Right.
If you look, I sent you that article. I sent you 2 articles. The first one was from a decade ago telling you about the resources, which I just explained.
Right.
And the coltan and all that. The second one is from 2 days ago. 60 Minutes, manufacturing consent, trying to show, oh no, Venezuela is 70% impoverished and it's just such a ravaged country. Right. And you know what? They really need some freedom down there. You know what I mean? It's like, it's never fucking about that. These countries would be fine if we just left them alone. Venezuela, yes, most of the South American countries have had currency problems because we bankrupt them. or we debase their currencies, or the World Bank levers them up with debt they can never repay, and then eventually they have a currency collapse. Basically, we want to control. Well, so you have the Monroe Doctrine and the resources. That's why we're fucking with Venezuela. They want to tell you Venezuela's a shithole country. That 70%. You could bring those articles up on the screen if you want. They want to tell you that they're running drugs. We don't give a fuck about drugs. The CIA is the number one runner of drugs in the world. Like, we don't give a shit about any of that. This is about, we don't want them to come up. We don't like that fucking Maduro is doing good things. We don't like that he's not playing ball and giving us all the stuff. And we want to oust him. We've tried to oust him for the last 10 years now. Now they're trying it again. It's not about drugs. It's never been, and we don't give a shit about their freedom. And anyway,
I haven't done. I gotta do my own research on this one. I haven't done any. I
encourage everybody to do their own research on this.
I actually thought we were going to be aligned on this issue, but we're actually not, which is exciting. This is the first time on Chatting with Chat we've not been aligned on something. I'm a Monroe Doctrine guy.
Yeah.
My vision of America going forward is that we're focused on the threat coming from China. And we're the Monroe Doctrine, that's back in effect, baby. The Western Hemisphere belongs to the United States of America. I don't give a fuck about Guatemala. I don't give a fuck about Belize. Most of these countries, Belize to this day, as we've talked about this before on Chatting with Chad, is still essentially a British trading post where they wash their money. These are not real countries. I'll allow Venezuela to continue to exist. I'll allow Brazil to continue to exist. But they're going to exist on my terms, the United States' terms. They're not going to exist on Chinese terms. The most important thing is that nobody other than us is allowed to make the decisions in those countries.
There you go. So
I don't care about the sovereignty of any of those nations. I don't care about the sovereignty of any of these nations. I don't consider them important at all. I don't consider Canada a real country. I don't consider Guatemala a real country, to be honest.
Well, there you go. So how come Trump came out and said...
They only exist because I'm personally not the fucking president. If I were president, none of these places would exist within a decade. But
so
joking. All kidding aside. Well, no, I disagree with you because I don't think Maduro is doing a good job. I'm confused right now.
Hold on. If he wasn't doing a good job for his own country, and he wasn't completely selling out to give us what we want, that's why we want him out, dude. Like, because he is actually doing a good job. He's helping their country. They have some clout, and they don't want to play ball. Therefore, we need to regime change them. Because A, they have resources, and B, Monroe Doctrine.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you that they want regime change in there and that they
have for a decade
resources and stuff. But I do. The only part of it I disagree with you on is that Venezuela is doing well, and that's a fucking Maduro is less. I can't remember the name of the guy that came before Maduro. I can't remember his fucking name. He was a fucking
Juan Guaido is who they were trying to install. They were trying to install Juan Guaido for the last
which I'm sure
10
they
years.
were trying to install some fucking shithead fucking bullshit government there, which I don't love. I mean, I would have made a better one. But I'm telling you, like this.
I'm not telling you.
If Venezuela were doing as well as you're saying it is, there would be people like it would be doing something other than basically, from what I can tell, it's basically a place where the Chinese import fentanyl into the United States.
We are aligned on this. Venezuela, we are trying to oust and do regime change because I'm not saying it's a bastion of fucking awesomeness and they have it all figured out. It is on a trajectory. It is on a trajectory for which Venezuela can actually benefit and become a larger global player because of their own energy and their own minerals and their own government. They're on a trajectory for which we would actually have to include them and deal with them, and they might actually get to make their own say on things, which is why we want to overthrow them.
I don't think there's any world where Venezuela has self-determination. I think Venezuela either goes the American route or they go the Chinese route.
if they were completely helpless puppet, why would we be trying to overthrow them?
Well, we're trying to overthrow them because they have that oil. There's a reason to now. There's value there. They've got their shitty. Oh, I still contend their oil is low quality, by the way. They have bad oil, but they have a lot of it. They have more.
90% of our oil, 90% of U.S. production comes from fracking, which is a light oil. Why wouldn't you want a heavy sour crude for refining? That's exactly what you need. You need to mix heavier oil with the light shit that you frack. That's why the Canadian, we talk with the Canada boys, why the Canadian heavy oil sands is very valuable. All right. And anyways, we're not going to rehash all that. So the point is, this is not about drugs. It's not about feeling bad for poor Venezuela. It's never been about any of that shit. And to your point, that's why when Trump came in, he was giving Canada shit. You guys are just the U.S. territory anyway. We should take you over. That's what we do. We don't want anybody. We don't want other people with a seat at the table in our hemisphere. That is the Monroe Doctrine. Like, we don't want them to do well.
No. Yeah. And absolutely. I agree. Let's pretend, like, real quick before we move topics, but let's have a scenario where the United States, all of a sudden, we've closed our borders. We're Dr. Doom. We put up a big force field. No, there's literally nothing going in, nothing coming out. How long does Canada or Mexico last in a vacuum before China, or basically just China, to be honest with you? There's nobody else that can do it, but like becomes the America in that equation. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, we have
those
to
they're not real sovereign nations. Neither is Europe, by the way, at this point. Europe can't stand on its own. There's only, like, if we're being, like, honest, like, and this is kind of relevant, but if we're being honest, like, countries that can actually, like, stand their own in this world, like, if we're in a vacuum, like, all the you know, like, bets are off, like, whatever, like, it's just a weird, like, just for the purposes of my discussion, the United States, obviously, Russia can do it, China, Israel's got nukes.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Israel, because it's a U.S. proxy. That's basically.
And, like, or is the United States, or is the United States an Israel proxy?
No, you're right. You're right. And, you know, to your point, actually, and this is not, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole because it's a totally different thing, but it tries. So Russia is it gets a lot of shit. Russia does. Jackson probably thinks Australia too. Australia's all right.
Australia's a shit. Australia's been the United States colony.
I know, but the whole point is that the Russia thing, and we could have 10 podcasts on this, it drives me nuts, because Russia should be our closest ally, because they're not only are they're historically a strong Christian nation, right? And like, I don't think it's coincidence that there's always been a wedge driven between the United States and Russia, because you don't want two powerhouse Christian nations being allies, especially if you're a puppet of fucking Israel, right? And you want anyways.
I would say if we're in a vacuum world where Israel doesn't exist, there's probably a pretty strong connection between Russia.
Right? I don't know. We're just throwing it out there. Like, we don't get to make the rules, but that's weird, right? Isn't it weird?
I don't know.
All the way back to the Bolshevik Revolution. Yes.
Yeah, but you know, we got to keep this. We'll talk about this on the Farm League channel. We can't do this on the GVE.
Yes,
channel,
I agree that we can't get into that. But anyway, so yes,
amen.
You're right. What's it? There you go.
John just said amen.
John's probably like, these fuckers need to get on to a different topic.
Nah, he's fine. John doesn't give a fuck. I lost my all right, here we go. Let me just double check real quick our chatting with Chad topics. There was a couple other things that I liked. I do want to talk about the gambling thing. It's kind of crazy, the NBA gambling scandal, like the fucking mafia and like using these guys. But I'm not surprised that there are athletes. Like, we use athletes as props at card shows and autograph conventions and everything for years and years and years. But I'm surprised that an NBA head coach was being used as a prop at a fucking mafia poker game. You know, it's insane. Not even getting the Terry Rozier shit.
Right.
Oh wow, we got a comment here from Don the Jeweler. Said, "Sad that Jake's turned into a massive pussy." Yeah, I mean, wow. Go ahead though. Any thoughts on the NBA thing? I think it kind of it's crazy. I will say I don't think of all of the big three major sports, I think the NFL is the least susceptible to tampering with that, other than props. The problem is props are tough. Individual props are very easy to manipulate.
Oh yeah. And like, so I agree. Like they all, so first of all, it's all kind of manipulated. Okay. It's all, I
Yeah.
don't think it's all of it's on the straight and narrow. It's never been, you can't, there's almost no way, even when gambling was illegal, like Jordan got kicked out of the NBA for gambling. That was in fucking 93. Okay. So here we are 40 years later or 30 years later. What's changed? Like nothing, So,
Well, now, no, what changed is the NBA is now sponsored by DraftKings.
FanDuel, DraftKings sponsor fucking everything. Right. Well, no, so I agree that the NFL's the least susceptible, but there's still some shady shit I see every week in the NFL. They're all, I don't know what you can do about it. I really don't.
If you were to
this has been going on for 50
NFL
years.
betting just to game results, though, I feel like it's a lot safer than other sports, just because quarterbacks are the only player in NFL, like in the NFL, that really has the ability to manipulate the game results to that extent. And I feel like
I'll give you an
just
example.
what it requires to be an NFL quarterback makes you nuts. And plus, NFL quarterbacks get paid $1 million.
I'll give you an
$50 million,
example
but
from last night. Okay.
yeah.
Rashee Rice. So a lot of people bet the touchdown bets, but especially first touchdown bets, right? You get huge profit boost for first touchdown or next touchdown or whatever. And so first drive of the game or whatever it was, first almost touchdown of the game, Rashee Rice is reaching for the goal line. He's maybe an inch short, maybe not. We go to replay review. I believe they firmly fucking call up Vegas and New York and be like, which benefits the house? Like, do we got enough money on Rashee Rice first time? Oh, right. No, he's short. Like, I think they do that kind of shit all the time. Because there's times where you look at the video, you're like, that's definitely in, and they call it the other way, or that's definitely short, and they'll be like, oh, it's irrefutable. Like, or
I will
you can't challenge that. I think
I don't know that
they
do that for gambling, but I think they do that for ratings, because it was proven statistically that the Chiefs have benefited over the last like 7 or 8 years from beneficial like refereeing.
Yeah,
like I feel like they're more the NFL. I don't feel like the NFL really gives a fuck about gambling.
No, it just happened this week. I'll give you the other. It just happened this week in the Saints and Bucks game in the first quarter. I posted about this. I put a tweet on X. Like, they're really trying to keep the Saints in the game because they said that it was a clear fumble recovery for a touchdown by Tampa. And then they said, oh, a whistle blew. They gave 10 different feeds. There was never a whistle. They just made that shit up and they took the touchdown off the board.
I can see the NFL caring enough about like a Thursday night game being competitive.
Fuck yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
They do this shit all the time. That's what I mean. So it's the least manipulated, but it's still manipulated. So
Jackson says the Debo Samuel dropped it. INT was sus.
100%, dude. There's some sus shit every week. So that's just 2 I gave you from this week that were like, you see shit like that go all the time. They call it in. It's like, Chauncey Billups, though, the fucking coach. You're right. Like, I've never seen it like this.
NBA
you
Hall
got
of Famer, correct?
Right. Mr. Big Shot, like the fucking from the coach's bench on the dole. Like that's fucking amazing to me. Like, it really is.
Like, in context, Pete Rose is like.
I just thought of that too. I was like, fair. He was a player manager, and that was, again, we're talking the 70s. This shit's been going on for 60 years plus. It's probably going all back to the Chicago mob. Like, it fucking, yeah.
My girlfriend just showed me a video of the hurricane in Jamaica. I was like, damn.
Craziness,
it's a good one.
Man.
It's Jamaican me crazy.
But
sorry, that was bad. That was rough.
No, it's good. It's good. So yeah, the betting thing.
Oh.
It's It's a mess, dude. I don't know. I'm not surprised, but it never shocks me, or it never ceases to amaze just how bad
I
it
would love
is.
it if I would love it if we could set it up like pardon the interruption, like with a like I'll just be
Yeah,
like
the rundown.
I'll hit you with a rundown of like 2 minutes. So you know what I mean? That'd be fun as hell. We actually should
Let's
look
do it.
into that. I'm sure it's possible, obviously.
Oh yeah,
It's not exactly rocket science. We'll figure that out. Let's look into that.
I like
Anything's
that.
possible at Grip Vegas.
Seconded.
Oh, I definitely want to talk about this. WVU is fucking dog shit. You guys suck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now I have like game 1, you guys lost that little quick guy.
But we beat Pitt.
Name. You did beat Pitt, which is big, and then you were close this last one.
Much improved this
but
week.
Like
much improved.
Your quarterbacks are like you don't have quarter. So is Marichal? Is that his name? Marichal?
Nico Miracle.
Is he hurt?
No, he's just been benched since like week 2 or 3.
He just dog shit, and Rich Rod was like, no more.
We are literally, no exaggeration, we're on our 6th or 7th quarterback. So that's really the problem.
So
Now,
they're choosing to like you're on your 6th or 7th quarterback, but that guy's available and they're just not playing him. Is he on the bench?
Yeah.
So does Rich Rod just hate him? Like, what's going on there?
He can't run this. So he's still looking for a quarterback to run his system. He's looking for. That's what we're doing right now. So this week was much.
I feel like that's kind of a bad thing about Rich Rod. If you can't,
it's kind of a dick move to these guys he brought in for sure. But
I'm just saying it's kind of a detriment to him as a coach if he can't if he doesn't have a mobile quarterback that can do that offense, he can't function.
I love it though, honestly. So you might be surprised at my take here. This is the worst we've been, and I'm fine with it. I'm calm and I'm fine with it, and I still like it more than the Neil Brown stuff right now because I like that Rich has basically been shuffling through all these quarterbacks till he finds a guy who runs the system right. And this week was much improved. The defense was much better. We started to get the run game going. So this Fox kid was a little bit better. But I love that he's going to keep shuffling kids through there till he finds the guy who can run this spread. Because you know that his whole system is the fucking spread offense, and it's unique. And if the guy's not going to run it right, go to the next one. I'm fine with it.
So your argument is you'd rather Rich Rod go 2-10 this year or whatever, rather than go because Neil Brown would probably have gone 7-5 maybe this year or something. And next year, but with Neil Brown next year, you probably go 7-5. Year after that,
gritty though.
You know what I mean? Rich Rod gives you potential to have a 10-win season.
I've liked Rich Rod's demeanor this year. I've liked the effort. We've been pretty gritty. It was much better this week. We played a good TCU team. I think they were 5-2, and we were right with them the whole way. So it is getting better. It is getting better.
I know that you guys are definitely probably at a detriment compared to a lot of other programs with NIL, but how bad is it for WVU compared to UCF?
I don't think it's that bad. That's what I'm saying. I think we'll get it right.
I feel like you should be able to compete with UCF. Marshall can't compete with UCF. UCF is a level above Marshall. We played them probably 12 times in a row. And they beat us 9 times in a row. You know what I mean? That school just was a little bit better than us because you guys got beat 45-10.
Well, they have Pat White on that staff for Rich Rod. Actually, he's the quarterbacks coach too, as well. So he's so they know what they're trying to do. They're trying to.
So Marshall has Zion Turner, who was the backup quarterback for Jacksonville State last year, which was where Rich Rod was. I'd be curious how much he would like to have Zion Turner right now. He's doing nothing for us. He's just sitting on the bench. He wasn't very good in our offense, to be honest with you. I don't know how different our offense is from what you guys want to run. But the guy that I guarantee you would love to have Carlos Del Rio Wilson, our quarterback, who's been a fucking monster this year. I think he's leading the nation in efficiency still. And he's run for about he's a spread option quarterback. Great quarterback. Marshall would beat WVU this year. I wish we'd play. We wouldn't have beat you week 2, but we'd beat you this week. We beat you next
Well,
week.
maybe not next week. Like I said, it is looking better. We played much better this last week. It's been
Yeah,
ugly. We were dog shit. No, we were dog shit all year up to this last week. Somehow
the
though we were
numbers have
great.
the numbers the big guys have Marshall finishing second in the division this year behind James Madison.
I get it.
So I'm just saying,
I
you
think
guys are
I think
probably.
he has it like they've been playing hard and he's cycling through trying to figure out who's going to work in the system and who's the hell they're shipping out next year and getting a new guy. Like I'm fine with what's going on. Unfortunately, like it just he doesn't have a super long leash like 5 years or anything, but
You
like
guys keeping him
I
away
think
from the cheerleaders?
I think yeah right. I like Rich Rod 2.0 right now. I'm all right with it. I've actually
It's tough for me because I just fucking hate him. He's such a fucking piece of shit. Like, by
yeah.
the way, Huggins is like going full like just villain mode now. I saw he was like hanging out with the pit. There's a chance that Huggins like fucking like becomes an assistant coach at Marshall at this point.
Ren Baker won't. I think he's mad at Ren because Ren won't let him back in, and the boosters won't let him back in. And I get it, like it's tough to defend, but like they had when DeVries came in, he was awesome, right? And then he immediately, I told you, I said, I think I have the tweet. You can look at it. Like as soon as we came out red hot, like I was like, we better fucking lock this guy up because I saw that happening. So immediately then his kid goes on injured reserve to he came out. We beat like Kansas like in the fucking second or third week, and we had a great run. We start off like 6-1. We beat two ranked teams. Yeah, and it was like, oh man, Dov V's got a fucking coach here. This guy's awesome. And immediately he redshirted his kid the rest of the year with a medical injury. They never said what it was or how long he was going to be out. And he was shopping offers the whole time. And so as soon as the year ended, he went to IU, and now his kid could start his senior year over there. Got this huge fucking contract. Right. So they took a shot on DeVries. He was the real deal. And he was like, I'm taking a shot on you too. And he cashed out. And so I think at that point, that's when Bob thought, all right, it's been a couple years. I could come back in the saddle. You know, we did a couple interns, it's been 4 years since my DUI. I'm not toxic anymore. And I think he thought he was going to get back in this year, and he didn't. So now he is full villain mode because they shut him out. They could have brought him back again.
So Marshall has a new athletic director. He kind of looks like Grimace from like McDonald's. But he's the new athletic director. But our star, basically the guy I keep seeing like all the promotions for the basketball team this year, which will be good this year. Like they'll do well. Like it's not like a barren program. But they're going with Kai Spears, Kai Spears. His dad got fired as the athletic director last year. Was at Pitt before that, like as the associate athletic director for years, came to Marshall. He was fucking the volleyball coach. The volleyball coach quit, like a whole big thing. But Kai Spears transferred from Alabama to Marshall. Remember the whole thing where the Alabama guy like killed the other guy? Kai like drove or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like he was like, all right. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. Don't sue me. I mean,
allegedly.
Thank you. Sue me if you want. Like you can have my comic books, but allegedly, like Kai Spears either drove or he was definitely I think he testified at the trial of that thing. But he transferred to Marshall. He's not a very good player. I don't think. I think he's like just so. But it's kind of weird to me. But he's all over the marketing. So
nice. Also, we love Israel. Israel's our greatest ally. Got to put that on the record as well.
Absolutely. And also, let me see if I got one more for you before we get going here. I don't hate Luke job interview recap. It's not a bad topic.
You touched on it. So it went all right. The guy liked your AI. He liked your econ.
You like the AI
e-commerce chops.
I got a in-person coming up next Monday. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm off this Friday. I'm sad. So here's They asked me for what I wanted for my salary, and I told them my number. And like I'm mad at myself. I actually would have gone higher
Yeah.
than what I said, but what I said was a number that, it's a big raise from what I currently make. But it also,
Yeah.
like, I'd be able to make my living, but I should have gone a little higher. It's a number that, like, if you live in Boston, Massachusetts, you're like, holy shit, like you make that at Dunkin' Donuts. But
Right.
in West Virginia, it's a good number. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like a whole different like context. We got like a
Well,
Boston context to everything. But
if it comes to the negotiation, you could sell that. You could be like, look, I
but
tried to throw you a reasonable number that, like, because
well,
I'm
I
happy
said to
where
the
I'm
guy,
at.
like,
Yeah.
the guy responded to me, and that's where I think I undershot myself, and why I think I should have got about $5,000 more. Is he was like, "Oh yeah, that seems reasonable to me." He's like,
Yeah.
"Let me see." He goes, "Let me see what they got on the job rec." Oh, there's nothing on the job rec, and I'm like, "Oh no." I just like cost myself $20,000. I don't think I did though. Like I feel like I might have like the guy like might have expected less, which makes me nervous. Not in the way like it makes me nervous just like in the way that like life exists. I don't know. But
You have to think about it from the positive, right? Like, and I'm not saying you aren't, but like,
yeah.
you have a job right now that you're good at and that you like in the same thing. You should throw
Well,
your number out there, and like, it's like, okay, if they don't take it, then carry on. But
yeah,
like,
we'll talk about this behind the scenes, Chad, and I'll give you numbers so we can actually, Chad like keeps me like, he's my best advisor, great advisor. If you can get him for free. But no, I'd pay for it. Advising from Chad too, by the way. But advising from Chad for free is great. But
we go back a ways.
my actual job that I currently work for, my boss goes, "Hey, we just had our budget meeting. They had to cut it short for a reason. Like somebody's parents got sick. Like it was like fucking like just weird. But anyway, they had to cut it short. They finished it, I believe, today or yesterday. So I gotta like get a follow up. But there's a new leader, like a pay structure for leaders, they call it. Like, or they're restructuring things. So I gotta see what that looks like versus what I'm being offered. But I hate to walk. Here's the thing: I hate to walk away from what I'm currently doing because I already built it, and now we're in the growth stages. Like I went through the bullshit stages, and now we're in the growth stages, and I hate to walk away. And also, like I'm gonna get a Christmas bonus, and like if I get this job, I'm gonna miss out on all my bonuses at the end of the year, which I didn't. I worked for them all year, but also I don't know how much the job that I interviewed for doesn't that business doesn't currently exist. Like the business exists, but what I would be doing, which is selling on Amazon, they don't do that right now. So I would be starting it from square one. Now, don't get me wrong, this company exists in 25 states. It's based here. Like I would love to work for them. But if there's like I'm almost at the point where I'm like, it's a $10,000 difference. I might just stick around, which is retarded. Which sounds retarded.
That's a beautiful that you're in a prime spot for negotiation.
But where I'm currently at is also it has upward mobility because
so you don't jump ship
there. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting my time in at the Salvation Army, and the Salvation Army has locations everywhere. And like what I'm doing right now for the Salvation Army would really impress people at other Salvation Armies.
Right. So you don't when you look for jobs, you look for like hero jobs, like huge steps up. You ask for everything you want, and you don't ever leave unless you get something that blows you away because you're in a good spot. Like you like what you have. That's the best negotiating spot anybody can negotiate from. Because if they really want you, they'll make you an offer you can't refuse to steal you away. If you're that's position A.
That for sure. Yeah. Once I get the numbers all like figured out, because I think to be honest with you, it's a weird situation. This company is headquartered in Huntington, West Virginia. I feel like this is a market, like this job doesn't come around here very often. This is basically like I basically have this job as it exists in this market. Like I have to be at least like one of like at most like 5 people doing what I currently do in this area. And
that's good.
Like this one came available. This is the first one I've seen in the last year, other than the one I currently have. So it's a weird situation. And there is, I think, an advantage to me being from here because the people that own the company are from here, and like they want people from here. So there's I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll when I get numbers, I'll talk to you and we'll figure out what to do. But I hate to walk away.
Then don't.
That's the thing. I feel like
that's the best part. There's
having
no
options
downside.
is nice. I did walk away. By the way, I got another call. I applied for 2 jobs, and I got calls from both of them, so that was pretty good. But the other one I applied for was staff accounting for basically Dunder Mifflin. I used to work for them when I was in college. They called
from
me
the
back
office,
and
like the actual fucking. Is it
yes,
Dunder
yes,
Mifflin?
basically Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah,
yes,
literally from the office. Yeah, it's a paper
They
product.
called
right?
me. Like literally, I guarantee they called me because like the guy that was when I was an intern in college, and when they were a publicly traded company back then. Now they're privately held. Like, but back then I was doing like sock stuff with them. But he was like, oh my God, Luke, he made me laugh. I'm gonna call him. So like, but that job pays 25% more than what I currently make. But when I get my raise, it's gonna pay. You know what I mean? But that job is an accounting job. That's me being a staff accountant. And I think I suck at that. And I don't want to go back to it. I'm miserable at it. I said to I didn't take it. They offered me an interview. I just didn't do it. I said to my parents, I was like, I feel like I'm going to fail if I do that.
My thought would be, unless you're going to be a big boy accountant, like something really, really like niche and useful and high end, being in e-commerce is a better future. That's where everything's fucking going. Like that's what I thought too. Every business in the world needs the e-commerce division, and they're all probably struggling. Like you're right where you need to be on that.
E-commerce surpassed physical retail.
100%. 100%. And most low level accountants are going to get phased out by AI.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if I've said this to my dad because he was like, "What's AI all about?" Because he's like literally like if he was like 80 years old. And I'm like, well, like accounting is definitely like, if anything, we're like ripe to be taken over by AI. It's accounting because it's just rules. So you just tell the AI, like you give the AI like the AI CPA guidelines and all this and GAAP. You give it GAAP, and all of a sudden it can do it. Like, you know,
let's say let's say you're an investment banking division, and you were looking to take over, another company. Maybe you had to pay a team of half a dozen junior accountants to do hundreds of hours of research and pull all the numbers and do all this. AI can do 90% of that. You still need very smart, qualified people to review that data and parse it out and package it and do the slide decks, and like you still need
here's the thing.
People,
you do.
But most of that grunt work stuff is now automated and faster. You don't need to pay a team of 6 interns to fucking do all that research.
If we're being honest, Chad, my future in accounting is as a grunt. If it were 1970, it'd be like, yeah, Luke, go into accounting.
You would have already had to be in and established, to be above grunt level.
I'm not even in the top 50%. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm in the bottom like 25% of people. Like,
yes.
So yeah. But in e-commerce,
the guys with country club memberships are not going to be laid off. All the junior accountants and grunts are going to be laid off. 100%.
Yes. So I need. So I made the decision. I was like, I don't do accounting anymore. Basically, like my whole thing with accounting is I get to say when I do interviews for e-commerce jobs, hey, I have an accounting degree. I understand how business works. Like I understand the financial reporting. I can do the financial reporting, and all that. So, but yeah. Chatting with Chad, by the way, we went about it's 9:35. I think it's about time to go. What are you thinking? Do you have any final thoughts for the people
No.
on your debut on the big network?
Hit us up if you got questions or things we should discuss going forward. Hit us up. You guys know where to find us. Appreciate everybody always showing us love out there.
Chad's wicked smart, they say.
Look into that Venezuela stuff, people. I'm telling you. Like I'm
will.
saying, yeah, please do.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not by accident, and we don't care about drugs. I promise you that.
All right, boys. Good night, buddy.
We'll see.
All you cool people, you better leave now because it's about to happen.